Hey y'all, this is Tamika, the face behind Heyyy HR, and I want to tell you guys all about KPIs, OKRs, goals, professional development. It's almost all the same thing. But I'm going to stay totally focused on KPIs. That's key performance indicators. If you want to know what KPIs are and how they can help your career, how they show that you know what you know, then definitely keep watching. Now, we have really evolved. I mean, at one point, we only talked about goals. At one time, we only talked, actually, before we talked about goals, we were only talking about like what you needed to actually get the job done. And when we talked about what you needed to get the job done, we were talking about just meeting minimum expectations, meeting the job duties that's outlined in your job description that was on that job posting. But now companies are really asking for us to be a little bit more detailed in how we're achieving the goals, how we're getting things done. As a result, now see, this is a good little sidebar, because this is what I always tell y'all, like y'all better know your worth, because these companies, they gonna beat you up and pull out your worth. And that's how you're gonna tell them how much money you want to make, because you're going to be able to, tell them all about how you can kill these KPIs and these OKRs. So let's get back to KPIs. So according to Forbes magazine, this is their definition. It is also called OKRs. It's also called goals. It's a measurable target that indicates how individuals or businesses are performing in terms of meeting their goals. OKRs is objective and key results. KPIs is key performance indicators. They're all hitting on how you're meeting company goals, how you meet department goals, how you meet position goals, how you meet professional development goals. Like, they're all hitting on primarily the same thing. It's just getting into you to think about what you're doing in more of a strategic way versus just saying, I did this every day, I did that every day. This is the big reason why every time I do a video and I tell you guys all about like, hey, make sure that you're doing this in your resume. This is why when you get a resume review from me, when I go through your bullet points, it's super duper detailed. I get it. I go real deep on those resume reviews, but it's only because I want you to show those KPIs. I want you to show those OKRs without calling them KPIs or OKRs, because this takes you above where the competition is. The competition is showing you exactly what they may have done on this job or what have you, but your top competition, the people who's getting the interviews, the people who's getting the job offers, they're talking about what the problem was that the company had, what they did to solve that problem, what was the time frame they did to achieve that problem, and what was the benefit back to the organization after they resolved that issue. Let's talk about who creates KPIs, because we may think, okay, well, you guys can go ahead and tell me what those KPIs are. In actuality, you should be able to help create those KPIs yourself. So individuals create KPIs, or a person may create KPIs to manage themselves. So maybe your leader might help you understand how to manage yourself. Maybe you already know how to manage yourself. Maybe you know what key performance indicators really help you reach not only the company's goals, but also your goals. For a business, most times instead of you or your manager making those KPIs, most time your executive team, the general manager, the CEO, the president, the board of directors, they're all making those KPIs for the organization. Now, how often are these KPIs created? Because you may say, well, Tamika, I did my KPIs and told them what I thought my KPIs were when I got my first performance review. Now we're 3 years later and you're thinking they're the same KPIs. No, typically KPIs change on a regular basis because they're gonna match the company's goals, they're gonna match the department's goals, and so your efforts should be going to help them achieve that goal. So you might not be doing the exact same KPIs every single year. I would hope that you're not. I would hope that you're pushing yourself an extra level. So there are different time frames when people do KPIs, and that could be annually. That's the most common time to do KPIs. It could be twice a year. So every 6 months, you look at those KPIs, you look at those goals. It could be quarterly, which turns into 4 times a year. And before I said twice a month, I meant twice per year. So you can do it annually. You can do it 2 times per year, so that's every 6 months. You can do it quarterly, that's 4 times per year, every 3 months. Or you literally can just say, okay, we're gonna do these monthly. Now, typically you don't see KPIs less than monthly because you wanna have time to test, to pivot, to improve, to do better. So you won't normally see KPIs less than monthly. If they're doing monthly, it's a super aggressive organization. Most times the companies or the positions that do KPIs on a monthly basis are your sales roles, your recruiters. Typically it's not in HR. HR is more on a twice a year. We get aggressive if we go quarterly, but definitely annually. So I think that so often we get confused with KPIs, and I ain't trying to have you out here lost this. I'm here to help you. So if there's something I could add on, because there's tons we can talk about with KPIs, right? We can talk about how you create them, what would you create them for, which positions use what's KPIs more often. There are tons we can go in on KPIs. I need you to do me a huge favor. Just put it in the comments. I promise I'll crank out that video because we can go a lot deeper with just keeping this one nice, short, and sweet for you. If this is your first time watching a Hey HR video, then I'm Tamika. I've been working in HR for the last 11 years. I have a double master's degree. I have the highest level SHRM certification, which is the SHRM SCP certification. I've worked in a ton of industries, and I've worked in almost every position in HR, ranging from your HR assistant up to your HR director. Currently, I sit as a global HR business partner for a global tech company. And so I hope that you found enough information in this video that you decide to subscribe. Now, for those of you who are returning, I appreciate you coming again. Listen, we have really been hitting on a lot of the beginning stuff, like the HR 101. We're taking this thing up a notch. So if you feel like, okay, Tamika, you're going in a direction where I need more and more, then do me a huge favor and give this video a thumbs up. If you feel like, hey, I've been expecting something else from this video, or now you got me thinking on something else, then put it in the comments. You know, I'll create that video in 2 seconds for you. And you know, 2 seconds really mean, yeah, not 2 seconds, but you know, you get it. Thank you so much for watching the Hey HR video. I cannot wait to see you guys on the next video.